Hey everybody, Isaiah from My Home on the Range here with another episode about God, guns, and diapers. We're going to be talking about a very, very key topic today that every instructor should go over with you. If they do not, walk out. All right? Safety, gun safety is paramount whenever you are training. Being a responsible gun owner, it is important. The NRA has 3 rules. I have 2 of my own that I toss on. So, let's get started. Let's dive into it because I don't want this to be a huge video. Rule number 1. We always keep our gun pointed in a safe direction. Now, the firearms that I am going to be training with are on my table and they're faced towards my target. Okay, downrange on the berm. Got one down there, one right here. So they're faced in a safe direction. Okay. Number 2, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Okay. I want to make sure that this is nice and clear. We're not going to be doing anything silly or stupid with it. The military has a saying with this: keep your booger hook off the bang stick. I think that works. Rule number 3, keep the gun unloaded until you're ready to use. Okay. This is for when we are practicing and with your stuff that you keep in your safe, your deer rifle, your shotguns for ducks, your competition guns. You don't have it loaded at all times. Now, a personal protection gun, that's different. That one that you carry on your belt, you want that locked and loaded and ready to go. Okay, mine has one in the chamber whenever I'm carrying it. It's just prudent, it's just smart, and we can have a discussion on that at a later date. So, those are the 3 NRA rules. Okay, safe direction, finger off the trigger, keep unloaded till you're ready to use. My 2 rules. All right, assume every gun is loaded. Just because I know that this gun is unloaded, no magazine, nothing in the chamber, I'm not going to be pointing it at anybody. I'm going to keep it in a safe direction. I'm going to be very careful with it. I'm going to assume that this has bullets in it, even though I know it doesn't. Okay? Why? We're creatures of habit. Whatever we do now during training, we're going to do in real life. And I don't want to have a situation where I'm going to be lackadaisical with a firearm that has bullets in it. Rule number 5. When I was growing up as a teenager, my mom would come up to me and say, don't get in the car with somebody you don't know, don't drink and drive, put on your seatbelt, don't speed, blah, 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 blah. A list. Okay? And I would just kind of, yeah, okay, yeah. And my dad would come up to me and he would just say, don't do anything stupid. Well, looking back, anytime I've had a major situation or a major screw up, I pretty much did something stupid. I've been very lucky. But I've done something stupid. And so, yeah. The other 2 rules. Assume every firearm is loaded. And don't do anything stupid. If it is training that is beyond your normal training, i.e. moving and shooting, advanced tactics, anything like that, do it with an instructor first and foremost. Do it with a qualified instructor, not Cousin Bubba. Do it with a real instructor that's going to teach you the proper ways to do it. So that way you are safer. All right? Okay. Other things that we bring to the range with us for safety. You guys can see 2 of them right now. Ear Pro, Eye Pro. This prevents shells from bouncing back in our face and damaging our eyes. This obviously prevents damage to our ears. Understandable. I always wear body armor when I'm on the range. Why? Because when I was on the job, I always had it on. And, you get into a car, you put on a seatbelt. I get on the range with students, I put on body armor. It's just one extra layer of protection. I doubt any of my students would ever do anything like that, but you know what? I would rather be safer than sorry. The other thing I bring is my IFAK. We're going to break this down in a future episode. This is an individual first aid kit. Okay, IFAK. This one is built for trauma, i.e. pew-pew damage. It is, you know, God forbid something actually happens. That's what this is for. Okay? Speaking of God, let's get into our Bible verse for today. And then we're going to get into an actual shooting drill where we're going to take and talk about something that everybody fights, both beginner and experienced. But our verse today is Proverbs 27:17. I don't have my Bible with me today, but I wrote it down right there. Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. This is all about being there for your brother, and helping teach each other and encourage each other, and being as good of a companion as possible. I have relied a lot of on pastor friends of mine and strong Christian friends of mine, where they are the other piece of iron sharpening me, and vice versa. We would talk a lot about this whenever we would get together, men's Bible studies, men's prayer groups, Wednesday night services, Sunday services. You know, we want to be there with each other and support each other and make sure that we are holding each other accountable and helping each other grow in our faith and our religion, to be strong leaders, strong protectors. So, as iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. All right, the other gun topic. An officer out of Texas recently sent me a picture of their target from their practice. And they said, hey, I think this is the problem. And I said, well, you're right. It is something that we all deal with, both experienced and novice shooters alike, and that is anticipation. It is when our shots just suddenly start going low left or low right. There's a little bit of a secret with this. If you're a right-handed shooter, 95% of the time, your anticipation shots are going to be low left. If you're a left-handed shooter, low right. I'm going to show you a target I prepared in a little bit, but I'm going to take and move the camera and have it show where I'm going to be shooting at our new Infinity defense targets, and then we're going to actually zoom in on some of the cardboard targets that I prepared. So just hold on one second, guys. All right. I don't think that's quite good enough. I'm having a lot of glare on this, so I apologize, guys. It's quite a sunny day here in Michigan, and it's kind of warm, so I'm sweating my butt off. But here we go. I like it a lot. All right, so these Infinity targets are supposed to take a lot of rounds. They're pretty cool. As you can see, not a bad grouping. That's about 10 yards. But what happens when we have this and we go to this? So, anticipation is when our body starts fighting the recoil before the gun even goes off. Okay? It happens subconsciously. Nobody sits there and says, oh, I'm going to anticipate the shot, and starts fighting it. There are a couple of really key ways to take and actually combat this. Okay? It's like I said, it's an issue that everybody has, but we can all fight it in our own way. First, dry fire. You can dry fire at home or you can dry fire at the range. I prefer the range because I already have firearms going off. And it's a little bit safer because I'm already in the mindset of bullets flying. You can do it at home, like I said, but if you're going to do this, be very, very conscious and careful. Make sure there is no, and I mean zero, absolutely none, no ammo in the room with you. Check your gun, double check it, quadruple check it, have somebody else come in and check it, make sure it's empty. All ammo out of the room, pick something in the room, just rack the gun, take fire your shot, and just do this over and over again. If you see the gun go like this, you would have anticipated. You get those low bullets. If you prick the gun and it just, stays still, fine. That would have been a good shot. The other thing you can use, and I have a lot of people tell me that, oh, you shouldn't dry fire your gun. Well, old guns, yes. You do not want to dry fire those. 22s, rimfires, you do not want to dry fire those. You want to use snap caps and those. For those of you that don't want to chance it and want to have it with your regular firearms, they sell these. These are snap caps, okay? They are mock bullets, plastic bullet with a cartridge and rubber, or in this case it actually has a spring in there. They make this in all different sizes and calibers. None of these are going to go boom because there's no powder, there's no primer or anything else like that. It's just something for you to practice with and dry fire with. Okay? You can take and actually put those in your gun, dry fire that way, and it works. The other way you can do this, and I prefer to do it with somebody else, is when you are at the range, your buddy can take and load your gun for you. Now, they can sit there and make it to where there's no round in a chamber without showing you, or have a round in a chamber. They would take it, rack it a couple times, make some noise with it while you're about 10 yards away, looking the other direction. They put it down on the table in front of the target. You walk up, pick up the gun, shoot the target. Okay? If it goes bang, awesome. You'll see exactly where you would have hit. If it doesn't go bang, and we see that barrel dip, you would have anticipated. If we see it sit still, it would have been fine. The other thing you can do, especially when you're just doing a dry fire with no possibility of it going off, you can take a spent shell and put it on the front. You can also put a dime or a nickel or whatever you want on the sights or on the front, right on top of the slide, to show how steady your hand can be. All right? So, good exercises for dry firing experience. I don't have a diaper thing today. We've had a very active day. We've had a lot of, we're finally getting into that whole, who just wants attention and just wants to grab the face and like look into your face, get up close and personal. Really attached, nose to nose. I will be doing another product review. I have one picked out probably later this week, and I'll be able to do that inside and not sweat my butt off in the heat and in the sun. So I hope that's good information for you guys. Use those drills to practice and combat that anticipation thing. Realize it is a lifelong battle. You're going to be dealing with it forever and a day. Okay? So until next time, God bless, train hard, and I'll see you then.